Good afternoon on what is a bright, clear but chilly day. It is Sunday the 6th of March. I'm back in the reading Nook with a nice hot cup of tea. And this pile of parcels to delve into. And the next one I'm going to pull out is this one. Okay. And this is this supplement here. This is Rogue Trooper Mission Report 016 Tour of New Earth Volume 1, and unfortunately the last volume, because just this past week or so, the license for the role-playing game for this, Judge Dredd and the Worlds of 2000 AD, published by N Publishing, has lapsed, unfortunately. So, during the battle for New Earth, in an alternate future where vast interstellar corporations reign supreme, there is only one thing that dominates each citizen's life: war. The Greater Nordland Republic and Southern Confederacy have been battling for longer than anyone can remember. Although that isn't surprising, considering the countless conflicts that have claimed billions of lives across innumerable battlefields. The battle between the North and Southern armies is heavily focused on New Earth, a prized transit point close to a black hole providing access to other parts of the galaxy. After years of chemical and biological warfare waged by both sides, the atmosphere and biology of New Earth is often toxic and deadly in the extreme. With both sides seemingly stuck in a stalemate that claims thousands of lives almost hourly, can your actions provide the heroics that break the sickening deadlock? Tour of New Earth 1 is a collection of scenarios written by for the Rogue Trooper role-playing game. The anthology presents several adventures that each can be run as a solo scenario or easily dropped into an already established campaign. Pull on your camp suit and check your ammunition. There's a war to win, soldier. So, yeah, it requires the Judge Dredd the Worlds of 2030 core rulebook and Rogue Trooper supplement. So, Rogue Trooper isn't quite role-playing all of its own. It does need that core supplement, and you need that to play. So, what it includes is six ready to run mission reports. Somebody could have edited that. Scenario guidance for both North and Southern PCs. New equipment options such as variant hoppers. And inside it's a mixture of black and white and full colour. And you have... so here's the cover of the Rogue Trooper rulebook. Rogue Trooper essentially is a genetic infantry basically engineered to survive in the biological chemical wasteland of New Earth. And you have 6 adventures in here, 6 missions, many of which are connected, which are not. So as I ordered this very towards the end of the series cancellation, and I was able to do a quick review beforehand because I got the PDF, so I know a bit about this ahead of time. So we start off with Mission Report 1, the horror camp of Vlad. And essentially you play, in this you are members of, you have to, a Nort prisoner of war camp located in the jungle, and you have to work out why there have been so many POW escapes and so many POWs killed. So you've got a map of the jungle there, and this is a nice bit of investigation. And you can, for example, if you're playing members of the Nord Office of Genetic Purity, I think it's called, you can really sort of throw your planet weight around and stuff like that. But you can play it with just sort of general characters as well, and you could obviously adapt it so that you are actually Southers instead in it, and it's a Southern Confederacy camp. So there's a nice bit of investigation on this one, and you've got in here, you do have bits and pieces, images from the black and white artwork for the Rogue Trooper comic strip from 2000 AD. So these aren't really very long. So the horror of Camp Vlad is it's that long. It's just a few pages, quite short, but you're going to get a couple of sessions out of that. Mission Report 2, Killer in the Night. This has got a really nice setup. You're assigned to take a detail of prisoners back to a POW camp, could even be back to the other camp. If you wanted to detail sort of like the various prisoners of war, who they are, what they want, and perhaps some of their secrets. And unfortunately, as the player characters sort of like traverse the route, they begin to get attacked, and there are random events, and it all gets a bit paranoid before there's a diversion. Now, Mission Report 3, Unlucky Sevens or 7S, is basically about crewing a hopper, a VTOL attack craft with multiple crews. And this really is more of a campaign setup than a standalone scenario, because all the player characters basically play members of this crew. Whether that's commander, EMT, trauma medic, engineer, gunner, navigator, pilot, etc. And we've got a list here of hopper variants as well, so you can play use alternate versions of your vehicle. We've got good illustration of hopper there, sort of like in action, and you can add traits to your vehicle. So we've got a big table there. Then we actually got the crew of the sort of people associated with the Unlucky Sevens, which is a military regiment with a bit of a poor reputation because things have gone wrong, and we have an example encounter, which is an extraction mission that's going to go wrong. After that, Deep Trouble. This is where it gets interesting, because essentially, really, after this, it kind of switches to being a full campaign for the Lucky Sevens. So that the first two scenarios feel kind of like yes and yes, okay, they're good, and then it switches to this. You kind of wish that sort of like, I personally think that the whole of this book should be dedicated to the Lucky Sevens. That would have been great. A whole campaign involved that. Would have been a bit different, and then the other two put into a book of their own. That would have made more sense. Deep Trouble is a fun scenario because, again, it's an extraction mission of the sorts. A souther flyer has gone down in a remote location, potentially a lake, and had an important science intelligence officer, and the player characters have to go back and go and essentially retrieve him, or retrieve what's basically the biochip in his head, which is all the cybernetics in his head has got details. And that sets up an interesting situation where they're flying, they're landing, and then they've got to do a dive into a vile lake, basically just full of toxic chemicals. Then the fifth one, Black Market Shenanigans, brings it back to base, and an NPC gets beaten up by some soldiers, and the player characters investigate why and discover black market goings on at the base and get involved in that, and sorting out the debt. That's sort of like a nice base sort of like role-playing investigation scenario. That's really very good. That's a nice sort of addition. And then Mission Report 6, Assault on New Everest, is the player characters basically is another retrieval mission, this time of an infiltration team, which is attacking a Nook facility on New Everest, so big mountain. And of course there's a cable car up the mountain, and the player characters basically have to land their hopper away, walk to the location, assault the station at the base, and then get onto the cable car. So it's very Eagles Dare, and investigate and find out what's going on in the base. And that's going to be a lot of fun. And they've got options whether the player characters go in, they sneak in, or they blast their way in, quiet or loud. And it's quite, essentially each one of these scenarios is played 1 to probably, I would think, 2 to 3 sessions in some cases. So you're going to get quite a lot of play out of these. So here, there's the sort of like image of the final base. I actually really think this is a really nicely done little supplement. I do wish that there'd been more perhaps devoted to the sort of like the vehicular campaign there with the Hop of the Lucky Sevens, because that makes a really nice little campaign that is different from player characters being like all genetic infantry and so on, and you can mix and match character types. I think that's really, really very good. This unfortunately, as much as I'd like to recommend it, you can't really get hold of it. Apart from personal collection, people may well sell it off, so keep an eye out for it. And having had a chance, I mean, I did review the Judge Dredd the Worlds 2008 role-playing game reasonably early on, but I didn't get hold of the other future supplements. But I have been looking at them since, and I've been really enjoying them, really enjoying the depth to which the End Publishing went into presenting the contents and pulling it out from the source material. And they did a very good job with both the Rogue Trooper role-playing game and the Stormtrooper role-playing game and the supplements for Judge Dredd, and I think they really did a very good job. And this is just sort of like the icing on the cake. Here's some adventures you can play with it. If you can get hold of a copy and you've got the Rogue Trooper game, then definitely put these together, run a mini campaign, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. Anyway, that's Rogue Trooper Mission Report 1 to 6 for the Rogue Trooper role-playing game for Judge Dredd the Worlds of 2008. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to see me out here, want to be alerted to another video of me out here with a parcel and a book, which I will unbox and talk about to the best extent of my knowledge, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching another unboxing of the Nook, and I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.